Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC and today we're going to talk about a little topic that seems to maybe not get enough attention. At least I haven't seen it talked about here recently, so I figured I would toss my 2 cents in. Now, what is the topic of discussion for today? Well, it is going to be the groupthink or the hive mind and why that's a dangerous concept. Now, to give 2 examples, there is a thing called the death spiral, and that is in ants. The little insect things that crawl around and you try and get out of your kitchen or bathroom because they're after the food and water and things like that in your house that everybody wants to get rid of. They're just little pest animals, correct? Well, the way that ants work is that they travel by pheromones, and so when you have an ant that is going out and veers over this direction, leaving a pheromone trail, and ends up taking the NASCAR route and making a turn after a turn after a turn, thus creating a circle. And the other ants, because this is what you do. That's what life is. You follow the pheromones. The pheromones either lead to food, water, some sort of thing that is needed for the colony of ants. You follow the pheromone trail, you collect what is there, and then you follow the pheromone trail back home, back to the colony, back to the nest. And so when one goes in a direction and ends up coming into a circle, thus creating the death spiral, because there's a bunch of these videos. They tend to make their appearance on social media every couple months, maybe every yearish or so, to where you'll see a giant group of ants just circling and circling and circling, and they will continue to do that until they, basically, it's why they call it a death spiral, okay? So, there's example number one. One person veers off, everybody else thinks it's just what you do. It's what you're supposed to do. And so they follow. Thus, you get a hive mind mentality. Uh, this one's doing it. That ant follows. The other ant follows. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Let's follow too. Now, the next example that I'm going to do, uh, and I should have done a little bit better research. It was I believe it was college students or maybe a college professor that was trying to demonstrate on groupthink and different things along those lines. And so they wanted to showcase that having a little bit of information versus no information. And so they put it up into a game. And this game goes by a ton of different names. It just depends on what area and region that you're in. But basically, I believe in the original one, it was werewolves. And you get a group of people together, and basically everybody puts their heads down. And then the person conducting the game will tap on the shoulder of 2 people. Those 2 people will thus become werewolves. And the werewolves will pick somebody, and that person is now the victim. And so the person will tell everybody heads up, and they will say, Bob was picked last night, and so Bob is now a victim. He is now out of the game, and everybody starts talking to try and pick out who is the werewolf. And they ran this game over and over and over, and I forget what they said. It was something really like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times the werewolves end. And you would think that there is so many villagers or game people against just 2 that the odds would be more favorable. You have way more people versus werewolves. Well, the whole reason behind this game is that the werewolves, even though there's only 2, contain all the knowledge. They know what's going on. The other people, they just have to try and talk it out, and there you get your hive mind mentality. Somebody picks somebody. Well, I think it's Stacy or Amy or whatever, And people, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, I agree. And then the game person goes, nope, sorry, that's not it. You just took out the wrong person. Well, it goes into that. When you start getting into groupthink, when you start getting into hive mind, that's where a lot of these things in these protests and demonstrations, I should have protests and demonstrations, you have things called paid agitators, and their job is to go in and to cause chaos. And 9 times out of 10, what they do is they will place one here, one there. They will yell out things or chant things. Most of the time, they're one of the very first people to throw something, break a window, or whatever. They're trying to get it because remember, it's that first initial person. Well, if that guy threw a brick and nothing happened, then I should be able to. Or that girl over there busted out some windows. I'm angry, all these chants and everything going on. I want to, I should do that too. And then you start getting into the hive mind. Now, usually by the time that the fourth or fifth brick is thrown or the fifth window is shattered, those paid agitators are gone. They've left the scene. Their job is done. They've got the ball rolling. They're out. They're collecting their paychecks. They're sitting somewhere laughing as everybody else causes chaos, destruction, gets arrests, gets hurt, things like that. So, right there, there's an example on why it is bad. Now, let's bring this back up into the prepper kind of sphere of this. This is a prepping channel. Why are we talking about this? Well, when you get into a group, okay, now we try and teach that this is the time to group up. If you are not part of a group, if you are a new prepper, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you don't have a group, if you don't understand the terminology, people are throwing around words like tribe and mag and different things like that. Well, mag is MAG, Mutual Assistance Group. That is a group that is mutually assisting each other. And so you form up basically a team. You are getting people together of like minded individuals that have different skills that is basically mutually beneficial to each other. You have somebody that is really good at medical, somebody that's good at farming and processing food, somebody that's good at cooking. You get all that together and you form up a group or a mag, a tribe, whatever you want to call it. Well, this is where you've got to get out of the group think. And because you want to get people of like minded individuals, but you have to be careful because you can go to one extreme or the other very, very quickly. So you don't want to get it to where, everybody thinks like me. So, when there comes time to a major decision, somebody starts, shouting out something and everybody's like, yeah, well, yeah, I agree. And, you don't even give it thought. Okay. This is at one point right here. Critical thinking during, before, and after an SHTF is completely critical. It is crucial to everything. You need to right now make sure that you are free thinking. Think outside of the box. Question everything. You should be able to question your group. You should be able to question everything that they're doing because questioning it broadens things out. It opens the mind. It gives a different perspective. Now, you shouldn't go in and be questioning things uh, that don't need to be questioned. When they go, hey, we haven't eaten in 10 hours. Okay, let's everybody take a break and, switch up. You go over here, you go over there, blah, blah, blah. And everybody knows it's a no brainer. Yep, it's time for a break. We need to rest and eat and sleep and things like that. And you go, can we talk about this? Maybe it's not time to question something along those lines in most of the situations, but you should be able to question things. So if somebody goes, hey, we want to take Alice over here and cross train her with Bill, and you go, well, wait a second, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Could you elaborate? Why would we do that? Well, maybe they have a great reason. If you have a legitimate, sincere questioning of something, question it by all means. And you should question most things. When you read a headline, when you read a video title, when you're listening to somebody, even myself, question it. What is the motives behind this? How does this benefit me? Am I getting quality substance or information from this? Because if you're not, then you need to move on. Don't listen to something just because everybody else. If there's some major prepping channel or whatever you like that has 100,000 plus subscribers and you listen to it because they have a ton of subscribers and that's what all the other preppers are doing, if you're not getting the information out of it, it doesn't necessarily mean that, they're a bad person doing it for the wrong reason. It just may mean that they're not the one that you need to listen to yet. Maybe they're teaching more advanced prepper things. Maybe you need to find somebody that teaches more of the basics, getting you started, or vice versa. Maybe they're too down here into the basics and you need to move on. You're getting bored with it. You need to get to that higher level. And so you need to make sure that whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching, listening to, you're questioning it. Make sure that is beneficial to you. Make sure that you question when it comes to everything in your preps. When you get an item and you go, wow, this thing's new, shiny, and all that, is it beneficial or is it shiny and you just want it? Now, it's not bad to want a shiny thing. Just be honest with yourself that you're not going out and spending a bunch of money and going, oh, I absolutely had to have this. Did you? So to get back on track, groupthink, hive mind, it's a bad scenario. It usually leads to really bad things when you just get it to where somebody can get something rolling, and all they got to do is just give that little bit of a chant, give that little bit of a push, give that one action, and then just let the mob take over. That's usually where bad things really happen. And so I want you to make sure that you are not involved in that. Take a step back, assess, especially if you're in a group setting. If everybody's just chanting the same thing and things are going, maybe you need to step back and go, wait a second, hang on, let's think this through. So I hope that helps. I hope you got a little bit of information out of that. I thank you for stopping by and spending a little bit of your time with me. I hope you guys have a great day and God bless each and every one of you. Stay tuned. There's more information to come. And say it with me now. Above everything else, please remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.